Hey there guys, it's Martyn here, and welcome back to another episode of the Now Review. And for this instalment, as we approach Valentine's Day, I thought we'd take a look at some Now albums that try and get across the mood of the holiday, the feeling of love. And so therefore we're going to be looking at Now That's What I Call Love, Now That's What I Call Love, and Now That's What I Call Love songs today in our video. But to start things off, as usual, when we do multi-album reviews, we're going to look at the first of the three, which is this one, Now That's What I Call Love from 2012.
Today this could
Now That's What I Call Love.
So let's have a look at this. What we got on the front, we've got like ring boxes, we've got, is that perfume? I can't really tell what that is. We've got jewellery and nice things. Apparently this all symbols love. Whether it does or not, that's your prerogative to take, I guess. And the title's fine, you know, it's embracing the pink. I hate this sort of washed out pink tone. It's not really a good pink in my opinion, and you know, it looks fine enough, but just a bit bland really. There's the spine, there's the old music for EMI when that was still a thing on Now. That's all good. This is 2 CDs, as you've probably gathered, it's not 3. It's a CD 1, you've got like lots of modern stuff. Bear in mind this came out in 2012, as you'll see here. Why has Changed the Way You Kiss Me on here? Like, okay, no, I'm going to talk about the track this later, but keep Change the Way You Kiss Me in mind. Just having a look down, yeah, you got McFly, Tinchy Strider. Yeah, as you can see, a lot of these are quite, you know, modern for when you're looking at 2012 anyway. That's CD 1, and CD 2 is the following. As you take that, Tiny Temper, Justin Bieber, Neo and all that sort of stuff. Going down. There's actually quite a lot of good songs on here when I'm actually reading this, and it finishes with Robbie Williams' Angels. This came out in 2012. Look at that old Facebook logo. How glorious is that? But before we get into the track list, of course, let's open this sucker up. There is Compact Disc 1, as it would have been back then. And it also says the new Now app, out now. Now That's What I Call an App. God, what an obvious title. I never owned this at the time. Did anyone have this at the time? What was it like? Because you can check out the full Now archive, search for your favourite artist or song, plus create your Dream Now playlists. Oh, well. Download it for free. You don't have to pay anything. So that's CD 1. Bland, very bland, don't know what else to say. And look, disc 2 is also, well, it's better actually. The dominant white colour over the pink is much better, but it's still pretty damn bland, I'm not going to lie to you. The booklet is just the information about the songs, no like standout bits there. So yeah, the track list on this one. It's bizarre, guys, I'm not going to lie to you. Like, Change the Way You Kiss Me, yes, it's like about love, I suppose, between one person and another, but with a love album, I don't expect a song like that's a club song, you know, it's more focused on the dance and the beat than the actual story, so why they picked that one baffles me. I mean, this was 2012, Example was pretty hot at this point, that had only been out a year, that song, it had hit #1, and if you think of like Baby, like, would you realistically play Baby to someone as like a love song, even back then? I don't think you would. Put Your Records On, that's a nice song, Corinne Bailey. But overall, as you can see, most of these songs I think do fit the love sort of theme, although there are some of them I think, as you can probably tell as well, they definitely pick just because, you know, oh, they're in the charts, or oh, they did well in the last few years, so we've got to whack them on there. So where did I get this from? I picked this up from Music Magpie. It was literally about £2. You can pick it up from like second-hand shops, you know, like CEX and stuff for around that price too. It's not available in HMV anymore, God no, after 7 years it's definitely not available. But again, if you like love songs, I guess primarily from like between 2008 to 2012, this album's not a bad variation to go to, but I think as you'll see as we go on, I think the other two albums maybe definitely trump it a bit. So let's have a look at our next album for the day, which is again titled Now That's What I Call Love.
say you won't let go.
Now Love.
Just say you won't let go.
Now, first off, I much prefer this cover. I mean, you've got like rose petals, I assume. This is lovely red and gold. I absolutely adore this style for the Now logo. I don't know what it is, just the way the gold complements, like shines off the red. It's a beautiful colour scheme to choose, and I'm really glad they went with it. And for the spine, you've got red text over a sort of white background, which again stands out quite nicely. So colour-wise, they've really done well here aesthetically, but it ain't nothing without your track list. So what do we have? It's now 3 discs. It's been bumped up a disc. You got James Arthur, Ellie Goulding, Justin Bieber, John Legend. Yeah, okay, a few older songs. Apologise is on there. Just the Way You Are. Secret Love songs on here. Apparently, The Climb by Miley Cyrus. Nelly Furtado, she's on here. Okay, so you got some stuff going back to like the mid 2000s. This was released in 2016, by the way. So 4 years after that first album we looked at. Here's CD2. Callum Scott, Sam Smith, Charlie Puth, Jess Glynn, Pink. All that sort of stuff. And again, you got things from like the mid 2000s. She Will Be Loved by Maroon 5 is a good example. Cry Me a River, Justin Timberlake as well. There's a few Justin Bieber on here, but much better than Baby. You've got things like Sorry, and you've got Love Yourself on disc 1 somewhere. I can't find it, but it's there. And CD3 is marketed specifically as classic love songs. So you've got Whitney Houston, The Fugees, Seal, Elton John, Robbie Williams. So yeah, I mean, looking at this, these are definitely more classic. Like, there's a lot of 80s and 90s stuff on here. Oh God, Dreams by Gabrielle. Remember that was the big thing. Finishing with My Heart Will Go On by Celine Dion, obviously from Titanic. So, I mean, again, we'll talk more about the tracklist in a minute. Open this thing up, shall we? We have, follow us all on our social medias. Apparently, the design was by Nick Chapman. Thank you very much, Nick. Not often they credit the designers in that fashion. There's the disc, and I actually quite like that. I kind of wish it may have been gold instead of silver, but the red and the logo and the petals are really nice to look at. Oh, there's gold, and now that I see it, I actually prefer the silver. No, not as good as I thought. This is quite nice, predominantly red with a silver trim, but it's a neat design of disc, but I think this one is the best out of the 3 CD1. So yeah, those are your discs. Now the track list, much better. Much better than the 2012 version, if you ask me. Just the fact, you still have all your modern songs, your James Arthurs, your Ellie Gouldings and stuff. CDs 1 and 2 are primarily that. You have some older songs, as I said, from the mid-2000s, which again, and that mixes it up quite nicely. CD3, I love this as specifically classic love songs, and it markets itself like that, so that when you pick this up, you know exactly what you're getting in for. You will have a whole disc of older songs, mainly 80s and 90s songs, which is great, but you have your modern fix as well. I don't know why they've put Let It Go from Frozen on here. It's not really a love song. I mean, if you could call it self-love, like Let It Go, let yourself go, just do what you want to do, but it's a bit of a stretch to put this on the Love Songs album, or Love album, should I say. And I know, Frozen, it's huge, everyone loves Frozen, Let It Go's in everyone's heads, but this came out 3 years after Frozen, and, the hype would have died. Is it really essential to put on here? I don't think it should, but this is a really good album. You can still pick this up from HMV, I believe, just about. So if you want to get it from there, you got to get it now, not just because of HMV's issues, but because it's now turned 3 years old, or will be, so it might not be available in HMV much anymore. You can get it secondhand, obviously. I picked this up from Music Magpie once again, a great resource for past now CDs if you're into collecting them like I am. It cost me about £3, so if you're into that sort of thing and you want to commit to it, it's definitely the way to go. So that is our second album. I'll just tuck you back over here, but now we must move on to our final album of the day with a slightly different title, thank goodness, which is Now That's What I Call Love Songs. So this album came out in 2018 in November, and that is the reason why I didn't review it brand new like I did the other November 2018 albums like Rock and Roll or Easy, for example. I decided to save it knowing that Valentine's Day would be coming up, and it's a good job that our review lasted that long. But here's the cover anyway, and we've sort of gone back to this washed out pink, a bit bland. There's some gems here, but you could have done more. Like, look at this one, did much more 2 years prior, this Love album. Sorry for my shadow, but it's a much better cover. This is just there. Let's have a look at your spine. Okay, so you got white with a yellow love songs because, let's just make the spine even more ugly that we can. Here is the track list. So oh, look at that. Straight away, you've got classics. George Michael, Aretha Franklin, Billy Medley and Jennifer Warnes, Luther Vandross, U2. So straight away you're getting classic songs. It's no longer just confined to one disc. You're getting Unbreak My Heart, Toni Braxton. You're getting Labyrinth, Robbie Williams. You're really getting a mix. That is a great first disc. A brilliant mix of 80s, 90s, noughties and teen music. Does CD2 do the same? Well, you have John Legend, Christina Perri, Sam Smith, Lady Antebellum. Yes, you do. Hearts There, Cutting Crew, Chicago. Oh, guys, honestly, this is such a good mix of tracks. Look at all that. That's CD2 and CD3. You have The Temptations, Etta James. You're going even further back. You're going to the 60s. Elton John's here. The Righteous Brothers. Lionel Richie and Diana Ross. Peebo Bryson and Roberta Flack. Oh, God. Love Me Tender, Elvis Presley. And finishing with Either Cassidy and Over the Rainbow. Now, guys, a superb track list. I'm going to talk about it more, but it's absolutely superb. Let's delve into the inside, see what we got. It's the home of hit music in your pocket. If you haven't guessed, it's the Now app. No one cares. Oh, come on. Very bland. Not even a little design motif on here? Come on now, music. You're better than this. Oh, great. They're all the same. Look at that. Just the same. Bland pink and white. Nothing special. Get out of our faces. So the track list. Out of all these 3 albums, this is definitely the best one. As I said, I'm going to scan through them again, but look at this. You've got straight away with an 80s song, but you've got loads of 80s and 90s on here, as well as your modern stuff. You're getting the best of both worlds, like your Labyrinths and your Pinks and your Ellie Gouldings and all that sort of stuff. But there's such, and I'm glad they put some 70s stuff on here. They put 60s, like, you know, your Elvises and your Temptations, Stevie Wonder. You're getting the best variety with this one, guys. I mean, it's such a great package. I'm a bit disappointed the design wasn't as good, but really, for the amount of songs you're getting, it's 3 discs and you're getting a massive variety. I'd say out of the 3, if I had to pick, get Love Songs. It's the better album of the 3. Took them 3 tries, actually took them 4. There was a Now Love album released in 1994, I believe. I don't have that one, but this has such a great variety. You can still get it new in HMV. I believe now it's in its 2 for 15 section, so £9 on its own, 15 for 2 albums. Or you can get it secondhand. It is still quite expensive on things like Music Magpie though. So I'd recommend getting it new just while you can, sort of, because that's maybe the cheapest you're going to get it. You can go to eBay as well though. But that is the 3 albums summarised. And as I said, guys, each of them you could argue have their merits, but if you want the most, if you're not a collector like me and you say, I just want to pick one of these, what's the most succinct one? Get Now Love Songs. It's the most recent, it's now the most readily available, and it's got the greatest selection of tracks on here. You will not be disappointed with that one. And that is all for this installment of the Now Review. Thank you very much for watching. Please leave a like, leave a comment, share the video around, subscribe to the channel. You can donate to my Patreon if you like. Have a very happy Valentine's Day. And until the next one, I will see you guys next time.
And you can tell
The perfect gift for Valentine's Day.
this is a song.
Now that's what I call love.
Oh, won't you stay?
Now that's what I call love. Now love. Perfect for Christmas. The greatest love songs of all time. Now that's what I call love songs.